Would you believe me if I told you that this massive body of water, stretching all the way to the horizon, is the largest lake in Nebraska? Yes, right here, in the heartland of America, this lake is lined with sandy white beaches. During the summer, tourists flock from miles away, transforming this surprising destination into a shoreline that feels reminiscent of famous seaside escapes. And yet, all of it lies inland. No oceans or coast, just the great Nebraskan plains. In fact, this lake is so immense that if you were to spill out all of its water, it could cover the entire state. It's a landscape feature few would expect to find in Nebraska. But hold on a second, Nebraska? Isn't it supposed to be a flat, featureless, arid place? Well, not exactly. Nebraska does indeed have vast prairies and agricultural fields, but it's also home to a surprising number of large reservoirs that store enough water to create recreational oases in the middle of the Midwest. In the south of the state, for instance, you'll find Harlan County Reservoir, a popular destination with a private lake community, boat slips, and natural beauty that's woven into the local folklore. Meanwhile, on the western side of the state, Linoma Beach, another large lake, boasts Nebraska's only lighthouse. So, how did a supposedly dry, flat state in the middle of America come to have so many lakes and even its own lighthouse? Stay tuned to find out, as today we'll explore the story of Nebraska's reservoirs. I'm your host Ryan Socash, and you're watching It's History. Nebraska's history is deeply tied to America's agricultural boom and rapid growth of cities like Chicago, where the demand for food skyrocketed in the 19th century. As settlers pushed westward, Nebraska's prairies became a hub for cultivating crops like wheat and corn or raising livestock, all essentials for feeding America's fast-growing urban cities. The railroad played a crucial role in Nebraska's development as well, connecting farms to large markets and allowing them to ship their produce into cities back east. The completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 brought even more connection, positioning Nebraska as the breadbasket of America. With transportation infrastructure in place, Nebraska farmers began to expand their operations, relying increasingly on mechanized farming techniques to keep up with demand. This shift led to larger farms, more efficient production, and the solidification of Nebraska as an agricultural powerhouse. But rapid expansion also came with unintended consequences. In other words, farmers plowed millions of acres without considering environmental sustainability. This overuse of land, combined with Nebraska's naturally dry climate, created something of a ticking time bomb. In the 1930s, environmental disaster struck. Known as the Dust Bowl, this period of severe drought and dust storms devastated the Great Plains. Nebraska, along with Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, experienced unthinkable hardship as a combination of poor land management, overgrazing, and prolonged drought created massive clouds of dust. These dust storms engulfed entire towns, turning day into night and causing respiratory illness among people and animals alike. The impact on Nebraska's economy was catastrophic. Crops failed, farmers went bankrupt, and a wave of people abandoned their land, migrating westward to seek work and better living conditions. This period left an indelible mark on Nebraska's history, highlighting the need for more sustainable agricultural practices and, eventually, inspiring a bold solution to combat drought and soil erosion. The Dust Bowl prompted both Nebraska and the federal government to take immediate action to restore the land and prevent future disasters. In 1935, the federal government created the Soil Conservation Service, also known as SCS, which introduced sustainable farming techniques such as crop rotation and no-till farming. This reduced soil erosion. These practices helped protect topsoil from being carried away by the wind and water, offering a long-term solution for Nebraska's agriculture. However, these reforms alone weren't enough to address Nebraska's reoccurring drought problem. The state needed a steady supply of water to keep farms viable, especially in its western and central regions, which experienced semi-arid and arid climates. Thus, Nebraska embarked on an ambitious irrigation project, constructing reservoirs across the state to store water for their agricultural needs. This is why over 1,000 reservoirs were built, ranging from small farm ponds to massive federal projects. These reservoirs now serve as crucial water sources for Nebraska's extensive irrigation system. They collect rainwater and snowmelt, which are then distributed to farms and ranches through an intricate network of canals and pipelines. Some areas use gravity-fed systems, while others rely on pumps to deliver water across Nebraska's diverse topography. Today, Nebraska's irrigation system is an essential lifeline for the state's agriculture, enabling nearly 9.5 million acres, about 40% of Nebraska's agricultural land, to be irrigated. This network of reservoirs, canals, and pipelines has not only boosted the state's economy, but also turned parts of Nebraska into unexpected recreational spots, including lakes that mimic coastal environments. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and discuss just why Nebraska has a lighthouse. On Highway 6, situated between Lincoln and Omaha, stands an unexpected sight, the Linoma Lighthouse. Built in 1939, this lighthouse was originally designed to enhance Linoma Beach's oceanic theme, drawing travelers in with its promise of a lakeside escape. Before it became a beach, the Linoma area was an active quarry. As early as 1915, water from springs began pooling in the excavated pits, eventually forming several above-ground lakes. By 1924, the Linoma Realty Company saw an opportunity and transformed the area into a beach resort. Crowds flocked to Linoma Beach, which offered an escape from the Great Plains, complete with water sports and sailing. They also offered activities like night dancing and dining in a converted farmhouse. As automobiles became more popular, Linoma Beach saw a surge in visitors, prompting the owners to build this lighthouse to make the area even more attractive to drivers. The lighthouse quickly became a recognizable landmark, adding a maritime feel that set Linoma Beach apart from other destinations. Over the years, Linoma Beach experienced ups and downs, but by the early 2000s, it fell into decline. However, despite its decline, in 2003, the lighthouse and beach were added to the National Register of Historic Places, ensuring that this unique Nebraskan landmark would be preserved. Today, access to Linoma Beach is restricted to members who bid on annual spots, with auction funds supporting ongoing maintenance and preservation. Thanks to this community investment, Nebraska's only lighthouse continues to shine, providing a surprising maritime touch in the heart of the Midwest. But this lighthouse isn't where the story of Nebraska's wonderful beaches ends. When Lake McConaughy is at full capacity, it's the largest reservoir in Nebraska, covering approximately 30,500 acres. Fed by the North Platte River, this enormous lake was created with the construction of the Kingsley Dam in 1941, a project that provided much-needed irrigation water and hydroelectric power for the region. The dam was named after George P. Kingsley, a banker who, along with C.W. McConaughy, championed the project. McConaughy believed that harnessing the river's water would protect the region from the devastating droughts like the ones that plagued the state back during the Dust Bowl. But decades later, when the Kingsley Hydro Plant was added in 1984, it further supported Nebraska's agricultural economy by providing a renewable source of energy. Today, Lake McConaughy isn't just a crucial water source, it's also a popular destination for recreational activities. Visitors come for fishing, boating, and camping, enjoying the lake's vast shores that offer an unexpected beach experience in a landlocked state. The lake's role in Nebraska's landscape is a testament to how human ingenuity transformed an arid region into a thriving agricultural and recreational hub. Straddling the border of Nebraska and South Dakota, Lewis and Clark Lake stretches 25 miles and offers a range of aquatic activity. The lake was created by the Gavins Point Dam on the Missouri River and is named in honor of the famed explorers Lewis and Clark, who passed through the area on their journey westward, and noted their interaction with local tribes, adding a significant cultural element to the area's history. Completed in 1957, the Gavins Point Dam was part of the Pick-Salone, Missouri Basin Program, initiated under the 1944 Flood Control Act. This program aimed to manage the Missouri River's flow to prevent flooding, conserve water, and support local agriculture. But the dam's construction came with unforeseen environmental challenges. Each year, sediment carried by the Missouri River settles in the Lewis and Clark Lake, reducing its water capacity and impacting local ecosystems, a situation which, quite frankly, threatens the lake's long-term viability. Despite these issues, Lewis and Clark Lake remains a vibrant part of Nebraska's recreational landscape. Annual events like Bald Eagle Days celebrate the area's natural beauty and provide an opportunity to educate the public on local wildlife, whereas the Lewis and Clark Visitor Center offers historical insights, blending Nebraska's cultural and environmental heritage with a focus on sustainability. Now let's have a look at the Harlan County Reservoir near Republican City, a symbol of resilience in the face of natural disaster. In 1935, a devastating storm flooded Republican City, destroying much of the original town, which had been established in 1872. And after the catastrophe, they were unwilling to fade into oblivion. Determined to rebuild on higher ground, the community went to work. Led by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, they constructed the Harlan County Dam, completing the reservoir by 1952. But in keeping with the other reservoirs found throughout the state, the dam was not built only to prevent future floods, but also to support agriculture and local economies. And it didn't take long, as once everything was in place, the county became a popular spot for camping, boating, and fishing, transforming the site of a tragedy into a place of recreation and renewal. This reservoir now serves as a buffer against future floods and droughts, making it a vital part of Nebraska's water management strategy. Its scenic shores and outdoor activities attract nature enthusiasts from all over, further underscoring the resilience of Nebraska's landscapes and communities. Nebraska's reservoirs offer more than just water. Rather, they serve as recreational havens, historical landmarks, and symbols of the state's resilience. From the Linoma Lighthouse to the vast shores of Lake McConaughy, it's these sites that defy traditional stereotypes of the Great Plains as dry, flat expanses. So, has your perspective on Nebraska shifted? I know mine has, but I'm even more curious to know what other secrets this overlooked state might have. So if you're from Nebraska, let us know about those in the comments section below. Otherwise, if you'd like to learn a crazy secret from my home state, click right here to learn how Nike bases became playgrounds for children in Illinois. And I hope you'll consider subscribing. Otherwise, until next time, this is Ryan Socash signing off.